So we'll start the management styles in this class. So there are different types of management styles, that is autocratic management, consultative, persuasive management, democratic, and at last chaotic management. Hold on. Okay, it's audible, right? And
Yes,
the
sir.
slides are
Yes, sir.
okay. So we'll start the first management style, that is autocratic management. So here an autocratic management style is one where the manager makes the decisions unilaterally. So it's nothing but what? So whatever the decision making process is there, only the top management has to take the decisions. They are not going to take any inputs or suggestions from the lower management or the middle part of the management part. Only whatever the things will come to their mind, so they need to take the decisions. Okay, so it's like we can give one example, that is Hitler. Okay, so in his time, so whatever the decision is there only has to be taken by him, so he's not going to take any person's decisions or any person's inputs or suggestions. So whatever the things will come to their mind, only that is only the final thing. Okay, and without regard for even the most talented and experienced subordinates, if even though in this management style they are having well experienced person, or even the most technical and talented persons, they are not going to consider those inputs or suggestions directly. The top management only is going to take the decisions on each and every aspects. So here, in this autocratic management, as a result, the decisions will be reflect the opinions and personality of the manager, and a project a false image of a confident, well-managed business, which often hides the chaotic operations. Because here, what will happens if the top management people only has taken the decisions, or only those people have done the plan? Because if they have done like this, such as if they have followed the autocratic management, so which is very difficult to carry out the works which are carried out from the subordinates or lower management people, because they will not be knowing that how exactly they have planned that one by considering which parameters or which factors. So directly they are going to tell, yes, you need to do this work, these works and all, but it is very difficult that the execution part, and there will not be any part of the conveniencing mode or the changing mode without taking the permission from the top management. So whatever they are going to suggest, like that only the lower management has to decide. Okay, I mean they need to carry out the work. And here the skilled and competent subordinates which suffers because of the limits on decision making freedom, or even being able to do their jobs without constantly seeking the permission. So here, who were working with a skilled personality such as technical persons, such as engineers and all, so for them which is very difficult, and they suffers a lot because of they will be having certain limits and boundaries which are fixed by the top management. So only in that particular boundary and limits they need to work. So even though we'll be having a certain good part, I mean the good way to achieve the goals, those decisions which are taken by the top managements are restricting those areas, so which is very difficult to explore the knowledge which are there with the skilled persons. Okay, and even will not be having any freedom to take the decision making process. So everything it can be taken by the top management itself, so that which is very difficult for the subordinates and even for the laborers to carry out as per the top management's decision. And here, if a small changes or minor changes, whatever it will comes in the execution part. So for everything, we need to seek the permission from the top management. So once if they have planned from the top management, so for every minor changes, we need to go there and we need to seek the permission. So again, it feels discomfortable to the people, those who are working just under the top management. So here, the organization stumbles along, and the autocratic manager limits that contact between the staff and board. So only good information is communicated. So it seems like everything is running smoothly. So if something changes and all happens, only the top management will be taking the decisions, and that top management decision has to be reached to the lower management and even for the subordinates. So here it takes time, and within that the lower management will be carrying few part of that initial work, and again if changes have been made, it's like what, very difficult to rearrange those works. Okay. And since just you are being in subordinates part or being in lower management part, whatever the changes are there made, or whatever you are going to follow those orders by the top management, so you'll not be knowing that how exactly the things are going on in the top management. Okay. And you'll be feeling like everything is going smoothly, and we whatever the work will be carried out, just you are going to carry out as per their orders. And moving on to the next style of the management, that is consultative management. So here in this type of management, the decisions do take into account the best interest of the employees as well as the business. So here what they will do, the top management people are taking the inputs from the lower management such as employees and all. So they are going to give some inputs and some decision making points, and by considering the best one, the top management is going to take the decisions, right? And here the communication is again generally downward, but feedback to the management is encouraged to maintain the morale, right? So here the top management is going to take the inputs from the employees, those who are working in that particular company or construction work. So those feedbacks are going to help for the top management just to change the decisions by considering the best one. Okay. And this style can be highly advantageous when it from the employees, leading to a lower level turnover. Okay. So here this style, it can be highly advantageous when it engenders loyalty from the employees. It's like what, when we are having a loyal employees, so that time they are going to give the certain good decisions or good changes for the particular work, those who are working in that. So by considering the best one, this consultative management is going to take the final decision. Okay. On the other hand, for a consultative management style, the lack of worker motivation can be typical. And if no loyal connection is established between the manager and the people who are managed. So here, what exactly it is happening, whatever the employees are working in that particular work, they should be loyal so that they are going to give the good decisions. So if they are not loyal, and again the work will be, it's like the changes may get occurs because of the improper information suggested by the lower management or from the employees. And it shares the disadvantages with the autocratic style, such as employees becoming dependent on the leader. So here it's like what, the system of following the leader, it can be vanished from this consultative management, so that all are equal, but the decision, final decision has to be taken by the top management, but the inputs and suggestions, whatever the technical aspects are there, so that one it can be suggested by the lower management or by the subordinates. Similarly, by taking the best one, it can be come into a role which can be suggested by the consultative management. And moving on to the next one, that is persuasive management. So in this persuasive management, this style involves the manager sharing some characteristics with that of an autocratic manager. So it's like what here also the manager will be there with the autocratic mode only, but he is going to take the suggestions from a persuasive manager. Okay, so a manager, he is going to suggest each and everything to the persuasive management. Okay, I mean to the top management. The most important aspect of this persuasive manager is that they maintain control over the entire decision making process. So here whatever the mediator, what we can call, so here the decision has to be taken by the top management only, but the suggestion, it can be given by a particular manager, that is persuasive manager, and he is having that entire control on the decision making process. And the most prominent difference here is that the persuasive manager will spend more time working with the subordinates in order to try to convince them of the best benefits of the decisions that they have been made. So here the persuasive manager is like a mediator between the subordinates and the top management. He is going to consider both the systems inputs and suggestions, or even whatever the inputs are there. So he is going to consider from even subordinates and even from the top management. Then he is going to select the best one to the top management. Okay, and here the persuasive manager is more aware of their employees, but it would be incorrect to say that the persuasive style of management is more inclusive of employees. Okay, and moving on to the next management style, that is democratic management. So in a democratic management style, the manager allows the employees to take a part in decision making. So here it's like what the majority, what we can call. So they will be having certain plans by the top management, or even the subordinates or employees only can plan a certain way. So depends upon their plans only. The majority, those who are agreeing with those plans, that one only, it is final with respect to decision making process. Okay, so which is purely dependent upon the majority of the employees. It's audible, right? Because usually we'll be
Yes, sir.
connections and all. Okay, thank you. And the communication is extensive in both the directions, even from the employees to the leaders and vice versa. So here whatever the communication will be there, it will be directly from the leaders to the employees. So no other mediator will be there, and whatever the information is going to pass from the top management to the lower management, which is very clear, because here no mediator will be there, and no informations are to be changed which are passed from the top management to the lower management, because only here two ends will be there. One end, it starts with leaders, and the information directly reaches to the employees. Okay, and here this style can be particularly useful when complex decision is need to be made that require a range of specialist skills. So here in some cases decision making process is most difficult task in the construction aspects or in any other part. So that time we need to take a certain decisions. It should be effectively and efficiently planned. So we need to go for these types of the democratic management, so that the majority, those who are agreeing for those plans, so that one only we need to execute, because the majority, those who are agreed for those plans or those decisions are there with you behind, so that they are going to help since from start to till end of the project work. And moving on to the next part, that is chaotic management. So this is a modern style of management. So in this chaotic management, it gives the employees total control over the decision making process. So here, whatever the decision making process is there, in the autocratic management, each decision has to be taken by the leader. But in the chaotic management, each and every decisions are left to the employees just to take the total control over the decision making process. It is just exactly opposite to the autocratic management. Okay, and here some companies have adopted these styles of management, and in return they have become some of the most influential and innovative companies, because by referring these types of chaotic management, we'll be knowing some better ideas from the employees, because they will be having certain experience, they will be having certain skills in their mind, just by taking their inputs, and just by executing the works as per their plans, which will be very helpful to do the innovative things. So once if you're done with the innovative things, so it will be very helpful to carry out the work as per your planning by using the different techniques. Okay, so these are the different types of styles of management. Okay, understood? Is there any doubt regarding these styles of management? Yes, please. Yes, can anyone? If you're having any doubts, you can ask. Yes, any doubts? Okay, we will wind up the class now. Just put your attendance. It's audible, right? Yes. Yes, Sagar, if you're having any doubts, you can ask. Shakir. Ilava. Sagar, you can disconnect the call if you're if you're not having any doubts. Shakir Hussain. Okay, we'll wind up this.